officer in the U.S. military. What he did today was a local custom called nanawati. He visited the father his troops had wronged, and he offered him 2 sheep. And it worked. Last month, that father told us he wanted to become a suicide bomber. But today, he forgave McRaven and the U.S. The military hopes this closes the book on one of the worst civilian casualty incidents of the 8-year war, in which U.S. troops were accused of a cover-up.
That's ABC's Nick Schifrin. What's the local rental market up to? Blair Hart is president of an Albuquerque leasing company called Amri. They manage about 700 single-family homes, making them one of the largest leasing agencies in the metro area.
We're certainly faring much better than apartments are, because the demand is increasing for single-family homes, and I'm actually having less people move than normally. More people are staying put.
Hart says the people renting are not coming in from out of town nearly as much as they did in recent years. Bloomberg reports rents fell the most year over year in Las Vegas, San Jose, Phoenix, and Seattle. Rents climbed the most in our area and in Colorado Springs. The man alleged to have robbed a bank and killed 2 women in a car crash has waived a preliminary hearing. Jeremiah Jackson filed papers through his attorney, Steve McHugh. Jackson is alleged to have robbed the New Mexico Bank and Trust on Louisiana and killed Kimberly Aragon Nunez and Janice Flores while attempting to escape. Jackson is currently in FBI custody. Coming up, a Bosque Fire update, 770 KKOB News Radio Time 3:02.
He wore the uniform. He led Marines in combat and was highly decorated for his bravery. He built a small business right here in New Mexico. He's a father, husband, and grandfather. He's not a politician, but he's running for office because he won't let the politicians drive away more jobs and fail our kids with bad schools. He's Alan Way, and he's ready to lead New Mexico in a new way, with integrity. So what makes Alan Way run for governor? He's running to change the way we do business in Santa Fe. He'll bring back fiscal sanity, create jobs, and get our state moving in the right direction again. A successful businessman, Alan Way will eliminate irrational regulations that kill jobs, and he'll balance the budget without raising taxes. Leadership, integrity. Alan Way means business. Alan Way, conservative common sense for governor.
Paid for by Alan Way, 2010. Brandy Perea, Treasurer.
Tax Help New Mexico is a free service for anyone earning $50,000 or less and seniors 65 and older. IRS certified volunteers are trained to help you take advantage of tax credits and rebates. For information, call 877-2124-TAX or visit cnm.edu/taxhelp.
770 KKOB News Radio Time 3:03. This portion of the news is brought to you by Andy Lee, General Contractor. Another day on the job for Albuquerque fire crews near 8th and Bridge, where flames charred 30 acres in the Bosque earlier this week.
We are patrolling the area and taking care of any hot spots and residual heat throughout the 30 acres that we see. We're going to have 2 to 3 brush trucks rotating out, trying to fully contain this fire, hopefully.
Albuquerque Fire Department spokesperson Melissa Romero tells us they don't have a containment figure right now. She also says they also don't know the cause or origin of the blaze, but still think it was man-caused. She's reminding everyone that smoking and campfires are banned in the Bosque, making it easier to get through the door to do business with Bernalillo County. It's happening with a lifting of the $50 fee to register as a vendor.
The fee waiver is available to any business, but we are especially encouraging small businesses in our community to take advantage of this opportunity.
That's Commissioner Maggie Hart-Stebbins. She says you can get in on the act by registering June 30th. The fee waiver is good for 1 year. On Wall Street today, the Dow is up 29 points, the Nasdaq is up 5. Currently, it's 59 degrees in Albuquerque. 770 KKOB is bringing ABC White House correspondent Ann Compton to town April 10th. Get your tickets now at 770KKOB.com. Our next news update is at 3:30. I'm John Milholland on your breaking news station, News Radio 770 KKOB.
It's moving pretty fast there, and it's big.
The first Bosque fire of the year threatens businesses and closes roads, and 770 KKOB is on it.
Bernalillo County Helicopter Air 1 is making bucket drops on both
fires.
Live news updates.
It looks like it's consuming both sides of the river now.
We cover the news. Others cover us.
Thank you for what you guys do with the Bosque fires, because I live in the Bosque south of Albuquerque, and they are frightening.
New Mexico's leader, 770 KKOB. The following is a paid endorsement.
Jim and Billy for Bob Daniel at Home Trust Mortgage. At Home Trust Mortgage, they have fast in-house processing and underwriting and great rates. Rates are going up. They may not come back down again. So if you missed out on the refi, you need to do that soon.
Yeah,
You can still get around a 5.3, which is pretty good, depending on your factors. And if you don't know if you can qualify, Bob will
absolutely. He'll run the numbers, and if you don't qualify, he'll tell you exactly what you need to do and need to take care of in order to qualify. And in many cases, $100 more a month, you're owning your own home, and it's an amazing feeling. So talk to Bob.
You always get honest quote, not like some of the crazy quotes you get on the internet. Ask about the low-cost VA and FHA Streamline refis in the MFA First-Time Homebuyers Program. Bob Daniel, Home Trust Mortgage, 220-7679, 220-7679.
Hi, this is Bob Clark. Give Hope a ride by donating your vehicle to Casa Esperanza, New Mexico's House of Hope. Your donation of a motor vehicle helps provide a home away from home for families facing cancer. At Casa Esperanza, these families find comfort and support during a difficult time. And your vehicle donation, any make, any model, any condition, is tax deductible, and all funds generated stay right here in New Mexico. Please give Hope a ride today. Donate your vehicle at CasaEsperanzaNM.org.
This has been a paid endorsement. Stop by Jiffy Lube and pick up the following is a paid endorsement.
I don't, 7 minutes past 3 p.m. is Atlanta Casino, and Danny Romero Productions presents Crossroads, a night of exciting boxing, with the main event featuring Mike Alderete versus Max Heyman on Friday, May 7th. Tickets start at just $25 at tickets.com, or you can call 244-8191. Great boxing at Atlanta Casino and Resort. Here's Gemma Knight in our first look at real-time traffic.
Traffic's looking pretty good right now. Everything's running up to speed on the freeway system. No crashes or stalls yet, but we are going to start to see that busy traffic already. Starting to see very heavy traffic on westbound 40 from Coors all the way through to the interchange. We have construction delays on northbound Louisiana between Gibson and Southern. You're going to see a double lane closure with a split into the southbound lanes. That zone starts to get pretty busy as people are exiting Kirtland through the Gibson base. I'm Gemma Knight with traffic updates every 10 minutes on the 7th. Now here's your TLC Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling real-time forecast.
Tonight, clear skies, lows at 35, and then for tomorrow, sunny and warm, highs at 76 in Albuquerque. Beautiful day. From Eyewitness News 4, I'm Chief Meteorologist Michael Kelting for 770 KKOB.
60 and sunny in Albuquerque, a little breezy as well. Up in the capital, it's sunny and 58 degrees.
81 million.
Number of Americans with heart disease.
831,000.
Number that die from it each year.
6,000.
Number of steps it takes to complete the 5K Heart Walk on Saturday, May 8th at Balloon Fiesta Park.
1.
Number of people it could save and still be worth it.
Wears the same clothes every day. Well, it seems like it. Despite that, he can still be pretty entertaining. This is the Jim Villanucci Show on The Talk Monster, 770 KKOB.
I'm starting to think that guy doesn't like me. I never change my clothes. I'm a drunk. I'm this and that. Anyway, hey, welcome to the show. Jim Villanucci and Billy Fatback with you. And we have Janice Arnold-Jones, candidate for governor, if you have questions. We have 4 of the candidates for governor scheduled for this month. This will be our last round of interviews with all the candidates, so you get another 2 hours to find out who you like. You used to work in radio, right?
I did.
Did you like it?
I did. It was really fun. I was in sales for KTU Radio in Honolulu, and I was on the air at WRFC Radio in Athens, Georgia.
Radio's fun.
It is.
Most of the time. So now you're in the legislature. You're doing a lot of good work. You just won a First Amendment Freedom Award and a Transparency Award, Open Government, and so on. Everybody likes you. You're doing a lot of good work up there. Why not stay?
You know,
you gave up your seat, right? It's gone.
If you're in the House of Representatives, you run every 2 years. You cannot run for 2 seats. So yes, I gave up my seat, but not my seat. It's the people's seat. And there is going to be a wonderful, brand new legislator, Conrad James. He will bring new life to the legislature. I think it's important to make those changes, but there is a frustration in serving in the legislature, and I have loved every minute being there. I've loved the fights. I've loved the progress, but the progress is extremely slow, and I think I have things to offer to the state of New Mexico, and I'd like to move them along a little more quickly.
What qualifications do you have for this office that the other candidates might not have?
Well, I think the things that we share, you know, I have a strong business background, certainly community service, but the thing that makes me entirely different is that I have served in the state legislature, and that 8 years of service, understanding how the legislative arm works, how the budget process works.
You can't control, I always hear people say this, it drives me crazy, I'm going to run government like a business. You're not a CEO, you don't have power over these people, you can't control them, you can't tell them what to do, you have to have some sort of different skill set.
Well, absolutely. You know, and I think you're right. Saying that you're going to run government like a business is probably a misstatement.
You can't fire these people. They don't fear, the governor, do they?
Well, it depends on which part you're talking about. From the policy-making side, that is a deliberative activity. That means you have to be willing to engage in conversation, in debate, and you have to be willing to entertain lots of different perspectives. And from that, we create the policy. Once the policy is created, it's the governor's job to implement and make sure that the policies work well, and at the same time that the state works well.
But you can't go up there with a bat.
Probably an unpopular decision. People don't like getting beat up. They don't like being threatened, which is what has happened under this administration.
They dig in and it gets worse.
It does. You know, when you operate under fear, you are less productive.
Talk about the budget. How are you better able to get a handle on this than the others?
Well, first off, having a background in business, I understand that revenue and expenditures have a relationship. If you don't have enough revenue, if you don't have enough money coming in, you can't spend it. And we have just a disconnect at the state level about that. So, and I think several of us think about budgets in that way. The difference is understanding how the budgetary process works, where the budgets are, and where the components are in state government, who you need to talk to. And remember, state government is a bureaucracy. It's my opinion that a bureaucracy is going to defend itself harder than almost anything else that you will do.
That's the number one job of that organism.
That's right, it's to defend itself. And my job is to open it and change it. That's right.
Yeah. Do you think we can revive oil and gas?
Yes, but I think it's going to be very, very difficult. We have been especially hard on the oil and gas industry. The pit rule literally has been a killer. We have lost rigs. We don't have permits. People are closing up their wells. And this is, when I think about it in terms of the budget, that was well over 20% of our revenue. And we have said, you're not welcome. We've literally hung out the not welcome sign. Now, competition is going to make it even more challenging to bring that industry back. New York, Pennsylvania, and Alabama are now producing natural gas for less money than we can get it out of the ground.
We had a rancher that was murdered on the border. What are your thoughts on that, and how should we react to this tragedy?
Oh, you should be furious. I'm furious. In fact, I did call the governor and asked him to send the National Guard to the border and to take several other steps. This was a known issue. The community of Lordsburg, Hidalgo County, Cotton Rodeo, they have been talking about this for years. The fact that our Border Patrol, our state police, and our sheriffs cannot communicate effectively to overcome the Mexican drug runners is really frightening, and to know that they have tools and radios that override what we're doing means that we're sending our guys down there with a water balloon and they have a bazooka. And it is a dangerous situation. Sending the National Guard in was the right thing to do. Making sure, just last week they put in a new repeater to improve cell phone coverage, to hopefully enhance our 911 coverage. Would that have saved Mr. Francis' life? I don't know. But I know that those are things that the citizens should expect, and it should have been there.
What are your thoughts about the rail runner?
I think it's really expensive.
No kidding.
The rail runner...
Are we stuck with it?
You're not stuck with anything. Here are the strikes against the rail runner. It is old technology. It is heavy diesel. It does not have a very conducive schedule. We passed a tax here to help fund it. The tax is producing a third less than what we expected. There are additional costs to the rail runner. There comes a point at which even though you have sunk assets, which is what we have, you may have to say, I'm sorry, we can't keep running this. You can't keep underwriting it. In public transportation, whether it's a road or whether it's the rail runner, we're all participating in, but you have to look at the return, and the return right now, today, is very difficult for anybody to swallow, and the taxes are not keeping up with it.
We had this Rasmussen poll that had, it looks like Doug Turner and Alan Way within range of Diane Dennis, and you were further back. Does this mean anything?
I think the poll, the way I read the poll and the crosstabs is that we're all within range. We're all within about 5 points.
You think the Republican nominee is going to win?
Yes,
in the general?
I do.
I do too. So she can, any of you can win this.
At this moment, it looks like any one of us can win that. And the question for your listeners and the Republicans in the primary is who is best positioned to beat Diane Dennis. But don't leave out the next step is who can help lead this state out of the mess that we're in.
Is it your belief that all 5 candidates are staying in?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, me too. All right, we will continue. If you have questions for Janice Arnold-Jones, candidate for governor, we will get to you in order, and we would appreciate it if you're citizens and not plants from other campaigns. We have a pretty good nose for that sort of thing.
"17 minutes past 3 p.m. Yanni's Mediterranean Grill and Opal Bars voted Albuquerque's best restaurant. You can make your next special event truly special in Yanni's private banquet room. It's delicious food, great service, and total privacy for up to 100 guests. Call Nicole at 620-8625 today. Here's Gemma Knight and more real-time traffic.
Traffic continues to move pretty good throughout the interchange. Not a whole lot of slowdown. We are starting to see some slower traffic if you're coming in from Bernalillo through that construction zone. Remember, it is only 55 miles an hour, so you will run into some slow zones. Also, construction delays on northbound San Pedro. Between Ridgecrest and Gibson, you'll have a double-lane closure. If you see a traffic trouble spot, call the Traffic Tracker hotline, 767-9167. I'm Gemma Knight with traffic updates every 10 minutes on the 7th. Now here's your TLC Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling real-time forecast.
Tonight we'll go with clear skies, lows at 35, and then tomorrow sunny and warm, highs at 76. Nice day. From Eyewitness News 4, I'm Chief Meteorologist Michael Kelting for 770 KKOB.
60 in Albuquerque, sunny skies, a little breezy as well. Up in the capital, sunny and 58 degrees.
Whether your business has 2, 20, or 200 employees, Loveless Health Plan has you in mind. Call your broker or call us today at 727-LOVE. Brought to you by Loveless Health System.
"18 minutes after the hour, Janice Arnold-Jones, candidate for governor, is our guest. You got Christine Whitman coming into town?
I do. Very excited.
Former New Jersey governor, I think your campaign manager's from New Jersey. You had a fundraiser there. What's the connection, the Jersey connection?
The Jersey connection is my campaign manager, Steve Cush, was the political director for Chris Christie's campaign. And the interesting piece about that is they brought him on board because Corzine was going to outspend Christie by 5-1, which he did. And Steve Cush's job was to win, which he did.
Good guy to have.
Absolutely.
All right. Don, you're on 770. Go ahead.
Yes, Miss Jones, I'd like to know whether you voted to give money for the train, the plane, the 500 people Richardson hired, and also whether you were involved in the Sanctuary City and the contract with the India casinos, because we could use casinos in New Mexico outside the Indian reservations.
All right, it's about 18 questions there.
Well, we'll start with the last one first. The compact for the casinos happened before I became a legislator, so I had nothing to do with that. The plane, the train, and the 500, I'm going to guess, exempt employees. Those are all budget pieces. The first year that I was elected is when the money was appropriated for the train and for the plane. I did not support those. And it was a really interesting discussion on the floor because the plane was kind of stuck into the budget, so that was not particularly visible. But on the train, we were trying to get a plan, trying to figure out if it could pay for itself. Does it make any sense? And we got back, trust us. And so most of the plans for the train actually happened after the money was appropriated. That kind of legislation is really troubling to me. I think the citizens have a right to know what we're going to do and how we're going to do it before we vote on it.
The governor's big ideas, the train, the spaceport, the film industry, are any of these going to pan out?
The one that I think has a chance of panning out is the spaceport, and it isn't going to be space travel. What is going to happen, in my opinion, is there is a tremendous need today for an ability to launch in the commercial sector. But the DoD also needs to have a place to launch, especially low orbit satellites. This is an ideal place. So I would call that payload, and I think that the private sector is actually going to come in and use this spaceport. And I would sum up that with saying, while I was not happy with many of these initiatives, this one, even a blind squirrel finds some nuts in this one.
Sure.
This one belongs to the governor, and he did okay.
Ted, you're on with Janice Arnold-Jones. Go ahead.
Yes, and Ms. Jones, I'm very concerned about New Mexico's education system, public school system. What's your opinion on the math and science education in New Mexico especially? Thank you.
Wow, Ted, great question. Thank you so much. Right now, we're in trouble. When I was first elected, our students were performing at the level of the 49th in the nation in math, science, and engineering, and today we are now dead last. So there are some very specific things that have to be done. We need to retool our colleges of education. It needs to be important to every New Mexican every day. That is the most important job of the governor, is to talk about education, to set the vision every day, not just 1 year, every day. But there are some other things that we can also do. We need to deploy and use our internet capabilities much more readily. The resources for math and science instruction that are available today on the internet are just astounding. If you've not taken a virtual chemistry class, I encourage you to do so. It is very cool. You get to blow stuff up. And if you were just in a regular chemistry class, you would just be limited to a single experiment. That part's very exciting. But there are other approaches. With the use of the internet, we are probably going to be able to reduce the size of our schools, reduce the amount of school busing. At the same time, we need to open things up. We need to encourage more private education. We need to encourage more charter schools. And, we have a robust homeschooling community that deserves a lot more support. I think we're supporting, the homeschoolers are serving about 60,000 students, and they are doing a remarkable job. So no one answer other than you have to make the commitment. You have to say that it is important. And I believe that our children are smart, and we need to not only take us to the moon, but we have to go beyond. The only way we'll get there is if we overcome and conquer math, science, and engineering.
When do you think we have Wi-Fi everywhere?
When do I think that will happen? Within probably everywhere. 20 years. But
20 years?
For everywhere.
Okay.
But if you're talking about cities and towns, another 5 years.
Yeah, that's what I think. About 5 years. Mike, you're on 770. Go ahead.
Hi, thanks for letting me call and talk to Janice Arnold-Jones. My name is Mike. I'm a board member of my local neighborhood association here in the Northeast Heights, and I spoke to you probably almost a year ago about an issue that you never got back to me about, and I assume it's because you got busy running for governor, which is somewhat forgivable, and that is the issue of group homes in neighborhoods. And I know that's probably a city issue, but I do know that people all over are having this problem, and I'm wondering...
All right, group homes. I'm going to put you on hold so we can get your number for her. Group homes.
Group homes. Actually, Mike and I apologize. I think I did try to call you back. You have just identified a serious issue for the state of New Mexico.
Line 2's number.
And the problem is that we have different regulations at the state level and at the city level. We also have a fair housing law. What is happening in our city is, because we have this disparity, companies are coming in from out of state, setting up group homes, and there are not enough regulations and oversight to make sure that the homes are safe. And so the home over on Hilton is a really good example. Why would you put adults in a home that are developmentally disabled that have bars on the outside window where they can't get out? That's crazy. And what's worse is we are allowing, because of some of these variances between the state law, the city law, and the federal law, it is really overrunning some of our neighborhoods. A very significant problem. Mike, it's not off my radar.
All right, well, we're getting a number for you. Mark, you're on 770. Go ahead.
Hello, Mr. Jones. I was just wondering what your opinions are about why this state is ranked second in the nation in terms of violence. And I'll hang up and listen.
Mark, I think that's a great question.
Well, Nevada's number 1, we're number 2.
And we're number 2.
Yeah.
And so is it? I have to answer that question with another question. Do we really think that violence is the answer? You know, the domestic violence numbers are frightening, and I'm going to look around at the 2 men in the room, and so somewhere along the line we have a disconnect that it is okay to beat up your wife, beat up your children. That's not to say it's just the guys who do that, but predominantly
a lot of it has to do with substance abuse, and
it is substance abuse and
cultural.
But the cultural piece, the part of us that says it's okay, and then there's the justice piece. When we finally get somebody who has engaged in this type of violence to court, our courts tend to say, well, you must have made a mistake, you need another chance. Well, how many other chances should you have? Is it that we are not enforcing a consequence immediately? And I think perhaps it is.
All right, we will continue with Janice Arnold-Jones, candidate for governor. 2 lines open, 243-3333 is our number.
Jim Villanucci, Afternoon, New Mexico is now listed as the second most dangerous state when it comes to crime. Just a few years ago, we were first. Now, that's what I call progress. 770 KKOB.
27 minutes past 3 p.m. Taxes got you down, feeling blue? Well, Blake's Lottaburger has just the thing to put that smile back on your face. Stop by your local Blake's today for a rich, delicious brownie. The brownies at Blake's are a nutty oasis of chocolate. Available only at Blake's Lottaburger. Here's Gemma Knight.
Traffic within the city limits looking pretty good, but we do have a crash now, a rollover collision northbound 25 at mile marker 262. That's just 2 miles south of El Camino. It is off to the right shoulder, but traffic is flowing for onlookers. Thanks to Tom for that call. He gave you a call on the traffic tracker hotline at 767-9167. I'm Gemma Knight with traffic updates every 10 minutes on the 7th. Now here's your TLC Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling real-time forecast.
Overnight, we'll have clear skies with lows at 35, and then for your Friday, sunny and warm, highs at 76. What a great way to start off the weekend. From Eyewitness News 4, I'm Chief Meteorologist Michael Kelting for 770 KKOB.
Sunny and 60 in Albuquerque, sunny and 58 in the capital. We'll be back with more of Janice Arnold-Jones in studio with Jim after the news. Stay tuned.
Come celebrate 60 years of excellence with the UNM Department of Communication and Journalism on Saturday, April 17th. Tickets are $60 per person, $25 for students, and can be purchased at unmfund.org/CJ.
The following is a paid endorsement.
Jim Villanucci here. I've used Roto-Rooter services for many, many years. Recently had them out over the weekend, thought it'd be expensive. But when I got the bill, I was shocked at how low the rates are. I called the office and asked if there was a mistake. They said that rates don't change until after 10 o'clock at night, 7 days a week for sewer and drain service. So if you have to call somebody at 7, 8, 9 o'clock at night, you're not going to get charged extra. And most repairs come with a year guarantee. I'll never call anyone but Roto-Rooter for any sewer, drain, or plumbing repair. You should do the same. Roto-Rooter, 299-6464, 299-6464.
With a major golf update, I'm Todd Ent with first-round coverage of the Masters. After a warm welcome from the Augusta National Gallery and a solid tee shot, Tiger Woods was off and running. So Tiger closed out the front 9 with an eagle on 8, a birdie on 9. He moved to 3 under, but gave one back on 10. So Woods now 3 strokes back in the field. Tom Watson, not playing like a 60-year-old, he shot a personal Masters best 5 under 67. He shares the lead with Phil Mickelson, Lee Westwood, and Wai Yang also 5 under. Todd Ent, ABC Sports.
Quit daydreaming about this. And make your Paco Ridge tea time now. Put this number in your phone or your Outlook, 281-6000. That number gets you $59 green fees every day of the week from now until April 15th. Paco Ridge is rated 5 stars by Golf Digest magazine and voted the 3rd best public golf course in America by Golf World magazine. Get out of the office and enjoy spring at Paco Ridge. Just $59 only through tax day, April 15th. 281-6000.
When you're a superhero, it's tough to get excited about anything. Supervillains? Natural disasters? Boring. But when you're me, you're always excited about springtime.
Get excited for spring today at Ozuna Nursery. Our selection of seeds, flowers, vegetables, and garden decor is enough to get anyone out of their winter slump. Ask any of our friendly staff for advice, and they'll be glad to help. Ozuna Nursery on Ozuna Anita or OzunaNursery.com.
The Mutual Fund Show with Adam Bold can be heard every Saturday morning at 10 right here on News Radio 770 KKOB.
News at the top, at the bottom, and when it breaks, don't miss a thing. KKOB First News begins now.
Good afternoon. I'm John Milholland. At 3:30, it's 59 degrees in Albuquerque. This is KKOB First News. Artifacts from Apollo 13 and other human spaceflight missions will be auctioned next week in New York on a date imbued with significance.
Critical flight notes made by astronauts Jim Lovell and Fred Hayes are up for auction here April 13th, the 40th anniversary of the oxygen tank rupture that cut short the Apollo 13 mission. The emergency checklist is expected to fetch as much as $30,000. It's among 300 items in an auction Bottoms is calling the Space History Sale. Others include a signed mission patch flown to the moon during Apollo 11 and a flight plan inscribed by Neil Armstrong with the words, "One small step for a man." Aaron Katursky, ABC News, New York.
770 KKOB News Radio Time, 3:31. This portion of the news is sponsored by Armed Response Team. There's no doubt the movie industry has become a big deal in New Mexico since Governor Richardson took office, but some question whether the tax incentives the studios get are good for the state. State Senate Finance Chairman John Arthur Smith would like to see those incentives capped at around $30 million a year.
From day one, I've always said if you can attract the industry by spending fewer dollars, that's good business.
But State Film Office Director Lisa Stroud tells 770 KKOB, you have to look at the big picture.
This is not just money going out. That's half of the equation. The other half is what's coming in.
And Stroud says the movie industry has had a more than $3 billion economic impact on the state since 2003. On Saturday, the Governor's Council on Film and Media Industries will hold a town hall meeting in Albuquerque to discuss where the movie industry is heading here. Currently, it's 59 degrees in Albuquerque. 770 KKOB is bringing ABC White House correspondent Ann Compton to town April 10th. Get your tickets now at 770KKOB.com. Our next news update is at 4. I'm John Milholland on your breaking news station, News Radio 770 KKOB.
If you have a question for Janice Arnold-Jones, you can give us a call 243-3333.
Rock and roll. Classic song. Ramping it up. What do all these songs have in common? You will never hear them on this station because we're paid to. New Mexico's talk monster, 77 KKOB.
At USAA, we stand behind some core beliefs. We believe the insurance industry puts too much effort into getting you to switch and too little effort into making you want to stay. We believe those who serve our country have better things to do than shop for auto insurance. So, not only do we save the average driver $461 a year, we keep rates competitive over time. That's why at USAA, we enjoy the highest customer retention rate in the industry. We were founded by military personnel to serve the military community, and for over 85 years we've looked after our members. If you've honorably served, let us serve you and your family. Switch to USAA Insurance today. Visit USAAinsurance.com or call 1-800-227-USAA. That's 1-800-227-USAA. Savings based on 2009 countrywide survey of new customers. Insurance provided by United Services Automobile Association and its affiliate, San Antonio, Texas. Membership eligibility restrictions apply. Hey, Pete, how's your cheddar pepper supersonic cheeseburger?
Good, except for one thing.
What?
That.
Oh, come on. The cheddar peppers between the burger patties are a nice surprise. All that cheesy and jalapeno goodness.
Yeah, I know. I just don't need to be reminded of it every time I take a bite.
And the chipotle mayo, plus free tots when you order one. Don't you like surprises, Pete?
Sure, everyone does.
Remember, like that time I pretended I was you on the phone and hit on your boss?
That was so funny. I almost got fired.
Or that time I sent your diary to your parents?
What did you do?
What? Nothing. I didn't do anything.
Well, you sent my diary to my parents?
Surprise!
You sent my diary to my parents.
Come on, everybody. Surprise!
Cheddar pepper supersonic cheeseburger. Sonic's got it, others don't. It's our classic supersonic cheeseburger, kicked up with 2 cheddar peppers between 2 100% pure beef patties and topped with chipotle mayo. Get one today and get a free medium order of tots. It's big, it's cheesy, it's Sonic. See menu for details. Only at participating Sonic drive-ins.
At Butterfield, we can make diamonds a part of your life.
Here's the legend himself, Bernie Butterfield, on why Butterfields can make diamonds a part of your life.
You know, I've been in the diamond business since before I could even drive. Decades before you were even a twinkle in your parents' eyes. Trust me, over the years, I've heard all the outrageous claims. Don't fall for them. Come sit down with us at Butterfield's and get the facts before you buy. In just 5 minutes, we'll take the fear out of buying a diamond, and then we'll get you hands-on with the most beautiful loose diamonds in the state. Our price and your satisfaction are always guaranteed, as it always has been. You see, I don't want to just sell you a diamond. I want you to be a Butterfield customer for life.
At Butterfield, we can make diamonds a part of your life.
2411 San Pedro across from Coronado Mall, right next to Mario's, and at ButterfieldJewelers.com.
Salonpas Pain Relief Patch presents the Ow My Aching Back Patch, the Just One More Time patch. Salonpas gives you the pain-relieving power of a pill in a patch. It's ultra-thin, ultra-flexible, and Salonpas is the only FDA-approved over-the-counter topical pain relief patch. It goes right to the site of your pain. It's the Keeping Up with Johnny patch, and the Boy Do I Feel Better patch. Get the power of a pill in a patch. Also try Salonpas Arthritis Pain, available at major drugstores and local pharmacies.
Starting Thursday at the Home Depot, Black Friday is back with limited time specials on lawn and garden essentials. Grow a great garden with vegetable and herb seed packets. Buy one, get one free. That'll pay off on your dinner plate and your pocketbook all season long. So make the Home Depot your first big orange sign of spring. We're starting this Thursday. Black Friday is back. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. Valid through April 11th while supplies last. U.S. only. See store for details.
This is the Jim Villanucci Show. On his census form under race, he put human.
Well, isn't that special?
770 KKOB.
37 minutes past 3 p.m. The New Mexico American Marketing Association hosts the 21st Annual Marketer of the Year banquet. This award recognizes marketers for achieving outstanding results from their campaigns. The celebration is April 15th at the Embassy Suites. Make your reservations online at nmama.org. Here's Gemma Knight and more real-time traffic.
Traffic continues to move up to speed. Nothing really out of the ordinary right now. A little bit busy as you're heading to the west side on westbound I-40. We're going to run into some construction slowdowns eastbound Montgomery at Pan American Freeway. Look out for that double lane closure. And we're still seeing slow traffic on northbound 25 north of the town. At mile marker 262, we have a rollover crash off to the right shoulder. Seeing some slow traffic as you get past the crash. I'm Gemma Knight with traffic updates every 10 minutes on the 7th. Now here's your TLC Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling real-time forecast.
Tonight, clear skies, lows at 35, and then for tomorrow, sunny and warm, highs at 76 in Albuquerque. Beautiful day. From Eyewitness News 4, I'm Chief Meteorologist Michael Kelting for 770 KKOB.
Sunny and 60 in Albuquerque, sunny and 58 in Santa Fe.
New Balance Albuquerque, for shoes that fit better and perform better. New Balance, where we actually measure your feet. North of Constitution and in Cottonwood Corners next to Best Buy. Jim Villanucci, afternoons.
That's why little men and little women like Nancy Pelosi want to put talk radio out of business.
Michael Savage, weeknights at 9. 770 KKOB.
39 minutes after the hour, Janice Arnold-Jones, candidate for governor, and she is our guest till 5 o'clock. Paul, you're on 770. Hello.
Thank you kindly for taking my call. Ms. Jones, there's two questions I have. First of all, would you work toward passing the same laws against illegal aliens that Oklahoma did, which got rid of their illegal aliens and saved their country, their state, billions of dollars a year? And the second thing is, would you work to put our highway funds from fuel back into a highway fund and take it out of the general fund where we can keep our roads and bridges built the way they're supposed to be instead of having to go through the legislature every time a road or a bridge busts down? Thank you.
Two great questions, Paul. With regard to the highway fund, I think when we tell the citizens that we are going to tax them, and if we impose an earmark, which that is, that you should always honor that statement of that the money is going to go for its intended purpose. When it was referred back to the general fund, we could do all kinds of things with it, but the worst thing that happened is we didn't maintain our roads. And so I'm a fan, and I intend to go down that particular path because roads are important.
Now, in Oklahoma, an illegal immigrant cannot obtain any government ID, any government assistance. Anybody who's arrested can be deported. And the illegal aliens have left Oklahoma.
There you go. When you open up the state, and it just makes me cringe when I think about the hospitals on our border in Deming. They are overwhelmed with dealing with illegal aliens who have no care, but they need help. And according to our laws, of course, they go to the emergency room and we provide help. At what point do you say we need to take care of our own? I believe that you should be in our country legally. That means that if you're here legally, then you are entitled to a driver's license and to those services. Now, we have a problem, and I have not seen the Oklahoma legislation. I know that this is a difficult problem, but we cannot continue down this path. And because Paul mentioned it, I'm going to go look at that Oklahoma legislation.
Sarah, you're on 770. Go ahead.
Hi, I'm a long-time local of New Mexico, born and raised here, and currently I'm working in the film industry. And I know there's a lot of debates about reports and stuff, but also what I feel is because you have to take into account when the film workers are here, they spend money in the bars, the restaurants, the wheelchair areas. There's no way of tracking them out. But I was trying to get your opinion on the film industry, and I'll go ahead and let you speak.
Sarah, thank you. I actually am sort of a product of the film industry, having had a production company in California for a while. I am not a fan of the current tax rebates. Those are not tax credits, they're tax rebates. It's a 25% credit against expenses, and I believe that when you have a value, if you simply give it away, you don't actually continue on to have the type of business that you want.
We could attract them for less.
Absolutely. And more importantly, I wished we had actually put this in as a production venue. So rather than having the drive-by films, that we actually had producers and production houses in the state of New Mexico who are keeping the pipeline full, because, I love film, and it is a great industry. But as we look at the impact of what we have done, and it's more complicated than just the 25% credit against expenses, we've done some other things that actually run counter to the industry itself. For example, we have purchased a ton of equipment and placed it at all of our universities. The filmmakers can come in and use that equipment for free. We put people out of business. I would rather our folks rent the equipment and keep it up to date. There's going to come a point that free equipment, we're not maintaining it, and it will not have the latest bell and whistle, and we won't be competitive at that point.
So who should play you in a movie?
Who should play me in a movie?
If you're governor and you're famous someday.
Oh, but it'll have to be somebody much younger than I am.
Like Helen Hunt or...
I like Helen Hunt.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like Reese Witherspoon, too. But you know who would be my favorite? Sandra Bullock.
Yeah. She's having a rough couple of weeks. Patrick, you're on 770. Go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you for the forum. I'm concerned about our state debt and, as an extension of that, our national debt. Local politicians pride themselves on private sector job growth, specifically citing Hewlett-Packard and a new proposed small industrial park in Rio Rancho. When you look at programs like the subsidy-funded freight train to Santa Fe between Albuquerque and the film industry, and the fact that the state had to pay for Hewlett-Packard to relocate, paid for the buildings, is this a good use of public sector funds? And what is your philosophy in general about the interaction between private sector and public sector?
Patrick, that is a great question, and I'm glad you're thinking about that. You know, I am actually not a fan of the type of economic development that provides so many incentives and so much money that a new company cannot sustain itself. And when I say that is, you know, giving, especially a startup, too much money at the beginning may prevent them from becoming a strong company. I am interested in sustained business, sustained industry. Our history of economic development with some of the companies that we've attracted is absolutely abysmal. They're gone. They are not here, and I hope we don't repeat that with Hewlett-Packard. And so I will go back to that concept of, if you sell off the rate card, eventually you don't have any value to sell. We have a lot to offer in the state of New Mexico, and there are good business reasons for companies to locate here.
Dave, you're on 7-7.
Thank you very much for taking my call. I have a question about our borders. What would you do as governor to prevent the problems that Arizona is experiencing here in Nogales? As a diver, I go through Nogales to Mexico to dive, and we haven't been through there for 2 years because of the violence. I'll get off the line and
Dave, I think we're actually experiencing some of the same problems. I think that we have to secure our borders. I have asked the governor, and I appreciated that he was willing to send the National Guard down to Hidalgo County. In addition to the National Guard, there's technology to help secure the border, but you have to make a commitment that our border belongs to us, and it is the right thing to secure it. People's property are being destroyed, their lives are being threatened, and we simply have to make a commitment to secure the border. And that means doing so even if the federal government chooses not to or says that we can't. This is our state.
All right, we will continue with Janice Arnold-Jones. No lines open, but I'll let you know when you can get in. Janice Arnold-Jones, candidate for governor, is our guest until 5 o'clock.
Up on 47 minutes past 3 p.m. Need to buy or sell a home? Well, now is a great time. Connect with the experts at Integrity Real Estate today at 715-3399, or you can check them out online at integritynewmexico.com. Integrity Real Estate done right. Here's Gemma Knight.
Orange barrels are our only real main source of slowdowns right now. Southbound Eubank, just south of Constitution, the double-lane closure. We also have southbound Carlisle at Los Arboles, just south of Candelaria. You'll see a right-lane closure. These projects are going to be continuous and until they're complete in the next week or so. So expect to see those delays for a little while longer. If you see a traffic trouble spot out there, give me a call at 767-9167. I'm Gemma Knight with traffic updates every 10 minutes on the 7. Now here's your TLC Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling real-time forecast.
Tonight, we'll go with clear skies, lows at 35, and then tomorrow, sunny and warm, highs at 76. Nice day. From Eyewitness News 4, I'm Chief Meteorologist Michael Kelting for 770 KKOB.
60 and sunny in Albuquerque, sunny and 58 in the capital.
Hi, I'm Mike Roberts with great reasons to trust your friends at Malloy Nissan with the largest new and pre-owned inventory in the state. You'll always find the best selection at the guaranteed lowest price. Serving New Mexico for over 45 years, trust your friends at Malloy Nissan on Lomas at Albuquerque or MalloyNissan.com.
48 minutes after the hour, Janice Arnold-Jones will be our guest until 5 o'clock. We'll have all the candidates in this month, and then we'll be done with them. And then you all go vote. So, absentee is May 4th, early voting's May 16th.
Right.
What do you think the turnout's going to be? 105,000, I'm hearing, ish?
I think probably not comparable to what happened in 2008, so you need to go back and look at 2006. That's probably what you're going to have.
Can anybody win this? I mean, five-way thing, 30% probably takes it.
Well, probably, but I intend to win it.
Yeah. So what's your plan? You got going up on TV? You got radio?
I am the epitome of my net bird. I am the frugal candidate, and I'm going to touch
You got a good ground game going?
I have a great ground game.
Yeah.
And, whether we make it to television or not, times are tight. people are squeezed in their own budgets. Why would I want to run a campaign that is just over the top?
Yeah.
And so I intend to run a frugal campaign and still touch you and convince you that I will best serve your needs as your governor.
Joe, you're on 770. Go ahead.
Thank you for taking my call. Say, ma'am, you know, the democratically run state of New Mexico has put us in debt. We can't do anything until we get rid of the Democrats and bring them under control. You probably have wonderful ideas, and I agree with you wholeheartedly, but we're not going to get anything done until we get the Democrats out of here. What is your opinion on that, and how can we work to get Republicans in office?
You got the power of the veto. Are we going to pick up seats?
Well, thankfully, the Republican Party has 27 candidates running for the House of Representatives right now. We have multiple candidates for governor, lieutenant governor. We also have candidates for Secretary of State and Attorney General, for the auditor's position. And in the past, the Republicans, we need to kick ourselves a little bit because we didn't encourage people to step up and run. We're doing it, and I think that we're going to see some significant changes, especially in the House of Representatives.
Joe, you're on 770. Go ahead.
My question, I have two questions. One is on the penal system, the prison system. They're overcrowded. We're second in crime in America as a state. King Bill Richardson thought it would be a great idea if you just didn't build any more prisons. I guess people will quit committing crime, which is an asinine concept, but, that's where that went. And my other question deals with drilling for natural gas and building refineries. I think it's essential if we want to pay off our debts and get our fiscal responsibility back in check. We need something that's going to create jobs, and natural gas and oil and building refineries makes money. I just want to know how you can help out with that and what your ideas on that.
All right, well, let's start with the correction system. And I may have to disagree with you a little bit. Our counties and our city jails are overcrowded. At the state level, we have empty beds, which I find to be remarkable. And at the state level, we are releasing prisoners at an accelerated rate, partly as a cost savings measure. And you have to ask, is that a smart thing in this economy? What are these newly released individuals going to do?
Are these nonviolent?
Mostly nonviolent.
Yeah.
But again, jobs are very tight. Is this the time to do an early release program? So we are doing that. And the next question that I ask, and as governor I will be asking, is if we have open beds in our prisons, shouldn't we be offering to help out the counties and the cities? Can't we work that out so that we relieve the overcrowding? For refineries, I am a private sector advocate. And if the oil and gas industry can find a way to make it make sense to build another refinery, I'm going to make sure that they have every opportunity and that we're encouraging them and not getting in the way.
All right, one more hour with Janice Arnold-Jones. Stay tuned.
Villanucci, afternoons. Weather alerts right to your phone. Text weather to 67664. Brought to you by SCAFCA, the Southern Sandoval County Arroyo Flood Control Authority. 770 KKOB.
With the Major Golf Update, I'm Todd Ent with first-round coverage of the Masters. After nearly 5 months away from the game, Tiger Woods is back at Augusta. Up and down round for Tiger. 2 birdies, 2 bogeys, but an eagle on 8 helped his cause, so Woods 2 under through 12 and 3 back. 60-year-old Tom Watson with the magic touch. He shot a 5 under 67 along with Phil Mickelson. They share the lead with Lee Westwood and Y.E. Yang. They're at 5 under, and Freddie Couples just joined the group at 5 under through 15. Todd Ent, ABC Sports.
Quit daydreaming about this and make your Paco Ridge tea time now. Put this number in your phone or your Outlook, 281-6000. That number gets you $59 green fees every day of the week from now until April 15th. Paco Ridge is rated 5 stars by Golf Digest magazine and voted the 3rd best public golf course in America by Golf World magazine. Get out of the office and enjoy spring at Paco Ridge. Just $59 only through tax day, April 15th. 281-6000.
Grandma's Music and Sound.
1, 2.
Grandma's Music and Sound. We beat online prices. Get your headphones at Grandma's. The legendary Shure Microphone Company now makes headphones starting at under $60. Shure mics have been the industry standard for decades. Whether you're a pro or amateur, Shure makes a mic and headphone for you, and Grandma's has the best price.
1, 2.
New Mexico's largest store for musicians. Grandma's Music and Sound. Coors at Paseo.
For your next romantic Italian meal, visit Villanucci. Homemade Italiano, made just for you as you order. Bow-tie pasta with smoked salmon finished with a smooth cream sauce, or traditional spaghetti with house-made meatballs and marinara. The freshest fish, succulent steaks, and hand-cut pastas await. The menu is diverse for both lunch and dinner, and Vivaci's outstanding wine list will complement any meal. Your Nob Hill trip to Italy is a short drive away. Visit Vivaci on Central and Nob Hill, just east of Girard.
Del Webb, the leader in active adult living, has found a home in New Mexico, and now you can find a home with us. Join us at our new active adult community, Del Webb at Alegria, for a Las Vegas-themed grand opening on Saturday, April 10th. Try your hand at casino-style games, just for fun. Enjoy live jazz, raffle prizes, and free food and refreshments as you tour 9 beautiful model homes priced from the low 200s. Del Webb at Alegria is just north of Albuquerque in the town of Bernalillo. This friendly, small-town setting offers panoramic views of the Sandia Mountains and feels secluded, yet it's close to every convenience. Del Webb at Alegria has a fitness center, clubs and classes, indoor and outdoor pools, bocce, hiking in the Bosque Preserve, and a lifestyle director. See for yourself at the grand opening of New Mexico's only Del Webb community, Alegria, Saturday, April 10th from 2 to 6. For more, visit delwebb.com/Alegria. Del Webb is an equal housing opportunity builder.
I like it easy and I like it fun. Sandia Resort is your #1. Great food, great action, served up every day. Great entertainment, hey, come on and play. Yeah, Sandia.
Now, all month long, it's the $350,000 amazing April giveaway. That's right, drawings every day with over 1,000 winners. Just play with your player's card.
Easy to get to, that's what you like. Land of entertainment all day and night. Far from the ordinary place to be. Things to do, people to see. Sandia Casino.
Don't forget, every day in April, win your share of $350,000 in cash and slot free play with daily drawings. Play with your Peak Rewards card. Don't have one? Then sign up today and get $40 in instant rewards, plus drawings all month long. Why play anywhere else?
Always the best place to play. Sandia Resort Casino. Play!
Sandia Lakes, where you can catch more fish because they stock more fish. And now they're stocked with trout. That's right, the trout are here, so come and get them. Get more for your money at Sandia Lakes, off I-25 and Tramway on Highway 313. Call 771-5190 for more info.
57 minutes past 3 p.m. Imagine your child reaching heights they never thought possible. Kumon math and reading instructors help them gain skills and confidence to achieve more on their own. Call Kumon at 994-4466. Math reading success, 994-4466. Come on, call Kumon. Come on, here's Gemini.
We've got some slow traffic westbound Rio Bravo at Del Rio. Police activity in the area. People are just slowing to kind of see what's going on. Around the interchange, you're going to start to see busier traffic, and we have construction delays going on. Today, you're going to see them up on northbound Girard at Mountain. Right lane is closed with the split into the southbound lanes. That's going to be a continuous project. I'm Gemini with traffic updates every 10 minutes on the 7th. Now, here's your TLC Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling real-time forecast.
Overnight, we'll have clear skies with lows at 35, and then for your Friday, sunny and warm, highs at 76. What a great way to start off the weekend. From Eyewitness News 4, I'm Chief Meteorologist Michael Kelting for 770 KKOB.
Sunny at 60 in Albuquerque, sunny at 58 up in the capital. We'll have more with Janice Arnold-Jones in studio with Jim. When we come back after the news, stay tuned.
Yes, spring is here, and so is the April savings event at Bob Turner's Used Car Network. And the savings are nothing to sneeze about. Looking for a truck? We've got them. An 08 Ranger with only 26,000 miles, just $99.95. An 03 F-150 Super Cab 4x4 with just 45,000 miles, just $14,995. And an 08 Toyota Tacoma with just 13,000 miles, just $14,995. Want more? We've got about an 07 Dodge Ram Quad Cab for just $16,995? Or how about an 05 Ford F-250 Super Cab XLT 4x4, only $18,995? All units plus tax, title, license, and dealer transfer fees on approved credit. Check out our entire inventory at BobTurnersFord.com. Bob Turner's Used Car Network, 3 locations, Bridge at 5 Points in the Valley, 5901 San Mateo Northeast next to Cliffs, and 1101 Montana Northeast just west off I-25.
No bull. This is Sam Bregman. I hope you never need a lawyer, but if you do, you want the best one you can find. Call Bregman and Lohman today at 761-5700. We'll stand up and fight for you when you need help the most. If you need to file suit, battle an insurance company, or even if you've been accused of a crime, you want a lawyer by your side who has the courage to stand up and fight for your rights. We're proud to be the lawyers for the people. Call 761-5700. Bregman and Lohman will stand up for you.
Just trust us, windows and doors.
Hi, your installers were supposed to show up at my house between 9 and 12 to put in my new windows, and it's 3:30 now.
No, ma'am. We met between 9 a.m. and 12 midnight.
Forget it. I'm calling Pella.
The installation experts at Pella Windows and Doors are respectful of your time. Plus, you can save on our wood, fiberglass, or vinyl products if you call 877-550-1BUY. That's 877-550-1289. Pella, you to be the best.
This is your official 2010 election station. KKOB Albuquerque, the talk monster. At the top, at the bottom, and when it breaks, don't miss a thing. KKOB First News begins now.
Good afternoon. I'm John Milholland at 4:01. It's 59 degrees in Albuquerque. This is KKOB First News. Dangerous gases have forced rescue crews to abandon the search for 4 missing coal miners in West Virginia.
Because the mine is too dangerous for rescuers, it's also too dangerous to recover the 18 bodies that are still inside the mine.
And that's the hardest thing because you don't know how, I'm sure you do, know how anxious they are to get their loved ones in whatever situation, get them home.
West Virginia Governor Joe Manchin and other officials say crews are testing the air quality every 15 minutes. They hope to resume the search as soon as it's safe. Stephen Portnoy, ABC News, Montclair, West Virginia.
The Albuquerque School Board unanimously agrees to accept the budget plan from Superintendent Winston Brooks.
Under the plan, 180 retirees who come back to the district and have been working less than 3 years will be eliminated. But cuts are also coming from departments that are not directly related to the classroom, like Human Resources and APS Police. Each school principal will also have to cut nearly 1.5% from their school's total budget, along with 30% from their discretionary budget. There is some good news this morning. District officials say the deficit reduction plan will not mean laying off hundreds of employees as initially feared. Reporting from the Channel 4 Eyewitness News mobile newsroom, Austin Reed News Radio 770 KKOB.
Here's a follow-up to a drunk driving crash on I-25 last month that left 2 people dead. The Office of the Medical Investigator says the wrong-way driver who caused the accident near Pecos had a blood alcohol concentration of 0.44. 5.5 times the legal limit. 28-year-old Cecilio Jaramillo of Santa Fe died in the crash, as did the woman whose car he smashed into, 18-year-old Mariah Arguello of Las Vegas, New Mexico. Coming up, looking for business, 770 KKOB News Radio time, 4:03.
Mark, technician from Safe Light Auto Glass.
Torn up roads can cause big problems for windshields. My last customer ignored a small chip on his, drove over a pothole, and crack. If only he called us sooner. When a chip's small, we can usually repair it in just a half hour with our state-of-the-art resin. A Safe Light repair is so reliable, we guarantee it for life. And with most insurance plans, there's no cost to you.
Call Safe Light at 1-800-800-2727.
Safe Light Repair, Safe Light Replace.
Starting Thursday at the Home Depot, Black Friday is back with limited time specials on lawn and garden essentials. Grow a great garden with vegetable and herb seed packets. Buy one, get one free. That'll pay off on your dinner plate and your pocketbook all season long. So make the Home Depot your first big orange sign of spring. We're starting this Thursday. Black Friday is back. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. Valid through April 11th while supplies last. U.S. only. See store for details.
Does your business need a stronger economy to thrive and grow? Want to see higher paying jobs in the Albuquerque Metro? Albuquerque Economic Development recruits new jobs and investments and creates a more dynamic local economy. Learn more at abq.org and join AED today.
770 KKOB News Radio time 4:04. This portion of the news is brought to you by Connecticut Water Systems. Figuring out where to turn for a little more business for your small business. How about registering as a vendor with Bernalillo County? Commissioner Maggie Hart-Stebbins says the $50 fee is waived now through June 30th.
Bernalillo County spent $184 million for goods and services last year. And the more that we can direct those to our small local business, the better we'll all be.
The waiving of the vendor fee is good for a year. County leaders say this is just part of the thinking they're looking at to help what they call the backbone of business grow with help, not hindrance, from the county. Every 15 minutes, there reportedly is a severe car wreck somewhere in the U.S., and every 30 minutes, there's a DWI-related crash. State law enforcement is well aware of the statistics. That's why officers from around western New Mexico are taking part in Every 15 Minutes, a program to educate high school students about the dangers of car crashes. Rick Sandoval with the DWI Resource Center in Albuquerque says it's a good time to start educating early, that is, because it takes time for the message to sink in.
The problem is that the prevention work and the messaging and these things, a lot of times we don't see the direct benefits happen for many years.
Law enforcement from around Cibola County will be talking to students today and tomorrow at Grants High School. On Wall Street today, the Dow is up 29 points, the NASDAQ is up 5. Currently it's 63 degrees in Albuquerque. 770 KKOB is bringing ABC White House correspondent Ann Compton to town April 10th. Get your tickets now at 770KKOB.com. Our next news update is at 4:30. I'm John Milholland on your breaking news station, News Radio 770 KKOB.
Ladies and gentlemen, 2010 is promising to be a huge election year. It's just like a circus. Will all the donkeys, please report to the left ring? Will all the so-called hate mongers, elephants, please report to the far right wing? Ta-da! You guys are a bunch of animals. Now, let's get it on. Your official election station is 770 KKOB.
Spring is here. Time to shake off the winter cobwebs and enjoy the beauty of the great outdoors. So head to your best recreation value close to home, New Mexico's state parks. From hiking and camping to boating and fishing, there are great outdoor getaways and special events for the whole family. Enjoy high desert trails, crystal clear lakes, and rushing streams at New Mexico's 35 state parks. The strong winter runoff guarantees a great season for water sports. Our annual day use pass and camping permits are your ticket to fun and relaxation. Call 888-NM-PARKS or log on to nmparks.com for details. Short trips, long memories. Your best recreation value close to home. And don't miss these upcoming events at a state park close to you.
Sailboat Regatta and Socorro Bass Club Tournament at Elephant Butte Lake State Park. Spring plant sale at Living Desert Zoo and Gardens. And a star party at Oliver Lee State Park. Please call the parks for more information and to create your memory.
Inflation is shrinking your retirement accounts and investments, and your IRA is losing value.
Hi, I'm Robert Jones with an important message from United Gold Group. Since 1997, people have been able to back their IRAs and 401ks with gold, silver, platinum, and palladium. Thanks to United Gold, I own gold in my portfolio, and you should too. Call the IRA team at United Gold Group now.
Create a hedge against inflation and diversify your portfolio with a precious metals IRA. Call United Gold Group's IRA team and find out how you can add physical assets to your IRAs and 401ks. Safeguard your retirement and secure your family's future. Call United Gold Group's IRA team at 1-800-943-2153. Call right now and you'll get United Gold Group's valuable 2010 IRA Investors Kit free. Call 1-800-943-2153. That's 1-800-943-2153. 1-800-943-2153.
8 minutes past 4 p.m. Texas got you down, feeling blue. Well, Blake's Lotaburger has just a thing to put that smile back on your face. Stop by your local Blake's today for a rich, delicious brownie. The brownies at Blake's are a nutty oasis of chocolate. At least that's the word on the street. Available only at Blake's Lotaburger. Here's Gemma Knight.
You're a nutty oasis.
Yeah.
True. They're moving some orange barrels out of your way now on Lomas, just east of Wantabo. You should see that left lane closure being moved out of the way. Starting to see some slowdowns due to construction on Comanche. We're getting some heavy traffic between Wantabo and Tramway. Various lanes are closed. That'll be with us until 4:30. And if you have a traffic trouble spot out there, you can always call the Traffic Tracker hotline at 767-9167. I'm Gemma Knight with traffic updates every 10 minutes on the 7th. Now here's your TLC Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling real-time forecast.
Tonight, clear skies, lows at 35, and then for tomorrow, sunny and warm, highs at 76 in Albuquerque. Beautiful day. From Eyewitness News 4, I'm Chief Meteorologist Michael Keltzing for 770 KKOB.
60 and sunny in Albuquerque, sunny 58 in the capital.
More than $300,000 in possible cash winnings. Play your favorite slots all week long to earn entries into the big jackpot drawings every Friday and Saturday. Cash in your share of more than $300,000 during April at the Downs Racetrack and Casino.
Is the Jim Villanucci Show. His favorite drink at work is Fresca. At home, it's liquor. You name it. But it includes liquor. This is the Jim Villanucci Show on The Talk Monster, 770 KKOB.
Can't somebody get their drink on once in a while? All right. I want to thank Bombay Heights for the curry meatballs, chicken marsala, saffron rice, and that bread. I like that bread a lot.
Oh, my goodness. 3 different kinds of bread. All the flatbread kind, one with garlic, one with potatoes and curry in it. Oh, my goodness.
Bombay Heights on San Mateo.
And you take the bread and you dip it in everything else that's there. I mean, it's tender meatballs, great chicken.
Bombay Heights.
Bombay Heights on San Mateo, then.
By Cliffs.
Across the street, on the other side of San Mateo.
Janice Arnold-Jones
good people, good food.
Our guest.
Bombay Heights.
Bombay Heights. On course. Kidding. It's an inside joke. Janice Arnold-Jones is our guest. She's running for governor. I think this is our 6th hour with Janice. 6 hours with all these people.
You love us, don't you?
Oh, yeah, it's good radio. You know, it's important. I don't want the... I don't want the profile of this election to be too low. It's important.
Thank you. I think so, too. We have a chance to change the direction of our state, and it's probably going to happen on June 1st.
Yeah. So I've given you all like $50,000 worth of airtime so you could talk to the people.
Thank you.
I do what I can. Bob, you're on 770 with Janice. Go ahead.
Yes, this is Bob from Rio Rancho. Miss Jones mentioned a while back in the earlier portion of the program about the impact of the film companies coming into New Mexico. And my question is this, how will that impact, because I believe that with the advent of, digitally enhanced movie production companies, it seems like they're going to be leaning more towards digitally enhanced movies rather than using actors, and would eliminate wardrobes, catering services.
Wow. So the animation or... you're not going to get away from actors and actresses.
You know, I think there's going to be a mix. I think you're going to see really high quality, new types of animation like Avatar, but you will still have really good storytelling told by real people.
But I guess the big money is, if you're an actor, if you do a voiceover for one of these animated movies and it hits, you do really well.
Voiceover is good.
Yeah. You know about that. Renee, you're on 770. Go ahead.
Oh, yes. Hello. Thank you for taking my call. Miss Arnold-Jones, I have a question. You are state representative, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And one of your objectives is to clean up the government and have an ethical government. My question to you is, while you were up there, why didn't you blow the whistle on all the corruption going on?
Renee, actually, thank you. That's a great question. And much to my frustration, we were blowing the whistle. We were screaming. We were...
You're trying to put webcams in everywhere, right?
Right. We were fighting. You know, the really awful stuff would come up on the floor about 2 o'clock in the morning, and there was no press there to tell the story.
Yeah.
One of the reasons I took the webcam to the legislature was because there was no other way to get it out. And because I'm a Republican and in the minority, and we are so far in the minority that we can be ignored. That is what happened. And so it wasn't for lack of effort. And if you'd like to go and look at my website, you know, the work that I did on the Regional Housing Authority in particular was an example of trying to dig in and overcome some of the kind of crazy things that we were doing. And that Regional Housing Authority still has not been resolved, and you are simply out of pocket because of it.
David, you're on 770. Go ahead.
Yes, thank you. Miss Arnold-Jones got a nice question for you. Toughie. As we know that education funding is a mess in the state, there's a major shortfall. And I was wondering if you would consider bringing back the truant officers back. Because you cannot walk into a mall or a Walmart or a Target or Kmart out and find 10 or 15 kids in there. And if you have a nice little fine, let's say $100 per child, they'll make sure the kids get back into school. And then you have...
All right, we got it. Truant officer, how about a law on baggy pants?
You know, I could do the law on baggy pants. They're really unattractive. You know, the truant officer issue, we actually do have truant officers. And the children who are truant, the ones that you really have to worry about are the ones who are staying home taking care of their younger siblings. And they're the ones who are truly losing out. There are other ones who are checking out. That is a different problem. And, you know, I know too many parents who said, you know, I took my child to school and they simply cut school and I didn't know and the school didn't let me know. That's sort of a different problem, and I think you have to approach it differently. When children are checking out of school as well as dropping out, we're not engaging them. So if they are not going to succeed where they are, let them go. Let's have some vocational training. Let them take their GEDs earlier, get them into the community colleges earlier, and engage them. And at the very least, if you think that it is a criminal issue or where we need direct supervision, our parks need a lot of help. And I think that we could do sort of like a CCC program for some of our young people who simply are not engaged in education.
One more before the break. Bill, you're on 770. Go ahead.
Yeah, hi, Jim.
Hi, Bill.
I have a question for Representative Janice Arnold-Jones. I know that a number of the candidates on the Republican side have made a point that they have not held political office before. And so my question is how important is it to have this kind of legislative experience moving into the governor's position with the present financial situation in Santa Fe, our state?
Wow, Bill, great question. Thank you. You know, I personally, since I have that experience, I think it's really important. The legislative process is actually pretty complicated. Having a working understanding of how the budget is put together, how the agencies deliver services, and where the bureaucracy is going to put up barriers helps you be productive the very first day. And if you don't know those things, you know, you're probably going to be sabotaged. And what I say, you know, there are a lot of people who say that they haven't had any political experience.
This is the only job that people apply for and brag about having no experience.
That's pretty strange, isn't it? Or maybe it's what they really mean to say is they haven't been elected. Well, there's a couple of us who are running who have been elected, but there are some of us running who've certainly been involved in politics, and so which is it? But I think having the experience of actually working in the legislature, going through the deliberation, weighing whether or not policy is good, it gives me a leg up immediately.
All right, we'll continue with Janice Arnold-Jones.
17 minutes past 4 p.m. You've heard Jim and Bob talk about them for years. Call Terry Thompson at Dry Tech at 275-1145 when you need your carpets cleaned. It's always the owner doing the work. Terry Thompson, Dry Tech Carpet Care, 275-1145. Here's Gemma Knight.
We've got a possible bosque fire in Isleta Pueblo right now. It's close to New Mexico 314. The smoke is visible from Highway 47. I'm still waiting for news confirmation for the exact location, but you're going to see a lot of the smoke, especially as you're traveling south, so just be aware of that. We also have some police activity westbound Rio Bravo at Del Rio. If you have a traffic trouble spot, give me a call at 767-9167. I'm Gemma Knight with traffic updates every 10 minutes on the 7th. Now here's your TLC Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling real-time forecast.
Tonight, we'll go with clear skies, lows at 35, and then tomorrow, sunny and warm, highs at 76. Nice day. From Eyewitness News 4, I'm Chief Meteorologist Michael Kelting for 770 KKOB.
60, sunny in Albuquerque, sunny 58 in Santa Fe.
With the 5K Heart Walk, Saturday, May 8th, at Balloon Fiesta Park, every step has the power to make a difference.
AlbuquerqueHeartWalk.org.
Whatever. Yeah, there's a 70-foot asteroid skimming by the Earth tonight. What? I'm just saying, there's a 70-foot asteroid that's going to come within 223,000 miles of the Earth tonight. That's pretty close in space terms. Anyway, we're visiting with Janice Arnold-Jones, candidate for governor. Last caller was asking about experience and political experience. Do you think Alan Way is getting easy paths on his time as a chairman?
So far in the debates that I've heard in the forums, absolutely. You know, when Alan Way was the chairman, we had an absolutely abysmal record of actually not only not winning elections, but losing. We lost 2 congressional seats.
We were losing like 71 to 29, right? I mean, these are humongous.
These were huge losses.
Yeah.
You know, and the fact that we lost seats in the House, lost seats in the Senate, you know, I believe when you're the party chair that is part of your responsibility. You know, and whether you had the Obama tsunami or not, I believe that is part of that political office.
Roy, you're on 770. Go ahead.
Miss Arnold-Jones, I believe probably the most important office to be held by a Republican, hopefully would be not the governor's office, but the Attorney General's office. What do you plan on doing? How in the world do you plan on coordinating with an Attorney General's office if we don't have a Republican there? And what can a Republican governor do to hammer home the idea that we're going to track down the corruption, even if it's 8-10 years old? We're going to find it, we're going to bring it to the light of day, and we're not going to let it happen again.
Well, you know, I have given this a lot of thought. Matt Chandler is running as a Republican for the office of Attorney General, and certainly hope that he is successful. But in the case that he is not, I have good relationships with the existing Attorney General, but I am sorely disappointed in his record of prosecuting the corruption that Matt says it correctly. There is more prosecution done in New York for the state of New Mexico than in the state of New Mexico. So I have looked at things like a special prosecutor to go after some of these issues, and there are issues, you know, as the governor, you get to do certain things, and only within a certain range can you appoint a special prosecutor. But the one thing that the governor gets to do is to talk about it every day, every minute, to make sure that Jim Villanucci knows that I know, yes, that things have happened.
Just get the word out to me, and we'll take care of business down here.
All right.
Kay, you're on 770. Go ahead.
Yes, Janice, I know you're against abortion.
Yes, ma'am.
How do you stand on that when it's in the cases of rape, incest, and life of the mother?
You know, Kay, through the years, I have thought, okay, and I know, you know, having dealt with victims of sexual assault, how difficult this is, but I, over the years, have changed my mind about those 2 instances. I actually know too many people now who were the product of rape and incest. Those lives are valuable. And the only exception that I take is, you know, there are compelling reasons for a woman to not support the birth of a child, especially when there are other children involved, and that is the only exception that I take.
If you're going to die.
Yeah.
Ciro, you're on 770. Go ahead.
Hi guys, my question is about education. You guys know I'm from France, and at 16 I started an apprenticeship which took me all the way to my master's degree. And when I moved in America, noticed the lack of apprenticeship, like a formation center for apprenticeship. Like you go 3 weeks with your patron and you work 1 week, and the patron that hire you gets incentive from the government, which allows the child after 16 being able to have a better work ethic and go ahead with his life with a great qualification. So I'm wondering, is it something like this happening in America, or is it planned to happen?
Sarah, that is a good question. We have some programs that are similar, especially in our construction industries. But in France, I think you correctly identified it, that you make it pretty simple. You go out, you work, there is a credit for the employer, and our programs are almost always much more complicated and it'll take a lot more paperwork. I think the trick is to provide the opportunity and cut the paperwork.
Dave, you're on 770. Go ahead.
Hello to the future governor. I wanted to know, will you have a vital program for highways? We're in very much need of a highway from Cuba to Ovado to Chama. It seems everything that people always think about is Albuquerque or Rio Rancho, that area there. We need a vital highway to come from Cuba all the way to Chama, but it would open up a lot of jobs for people to construct a highway, open up a lot of territory for people to move into and occupy this state. This state doesn't have a big population, and I would think that would bring in a lot of people and a lot of jobs to this state. What do you think?
Well, Dave, I agree with you that when we are constructing roads and highways, more people are working. We're going to face several challenges. The federal money for our highways is diminishing almost to nothing. So when we talk about highways, they will be fewer and farther between. I am particularly focused, however, on roads and making sure that with our smaller communities, that they have decent roads to get where they need to go. Is it going to be a highway? I'm not sure we're going to get to a highway as the first step, but focusing on roads, I think, will help.
You're big on the whole telecommuting thing, right?
I am.
Yeah.
I like telecommuting. And by and large, you can do an awful lot of work in that environment, but there are some times where you just have to be there.
You can run for governor without being in your office.
That's true. I can be on the road and telecommute.
That was a joke. All right. Jim, you're on 770. Go ahead.
Hey, good afternoon, Janice.
Hi, Jim.
This afternoon, I would like you to answer the following, or fill in the following, complete the following sentence.
Oh, boy.
When I become governor, I will repeal. Over to you.
Is it easy to repeal a existing law?
Not as easy as you would think. And there are some laws that I think...
Other laws you would like to repeal?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
With the pit rule, what?
Well, the pit rule is regulatory.
Okay.
And we could actually go in legislatively and change that, but that's not a repeal action.
Okay.
The Sanitary Projects Act always gives me pause, and I don't like the way that particular law is set up. There are a number of places that I think we could repeal, and it's just going out of my head, but there's some things that we really don't need to be doing, but repeal is very difficult.
All right, we will continue with Janice Arnold-Jones. She'll be here until 5 o'clock. And, what? Oh, all right. Talking to a little young Dave here. 27 minutes past 4 p.m. My new intern, Dave. The skiing and boarding is spectacular at Ski Santa Fe. Enjoy the final weekend of Endless Winter with $45 all-day lift tickets. It's this Saturday and Sunday, plus live music this Saturday at Ski Santa Fe. All facilities are open. SkiSantaFe.com for more details. Here's Gemma Knight.
We got word officially that it is a controlled burn in Isleta Pueblo that is causing a major distraction for travelers in just south of Albuquerque. You're going to see a lot of smoke in the air, very visible from Highway 47 and southbound 25. But again, it is a controlled burn, so nothing to be really concerned about. We do have some construction delays on southbound Eubank between Santa Monica and Coronado. That is just north of Academy. The right lane is going to be closed at the split into the northbound side. I'm Gemma Knight with traffic updates every 10 minutes on the 7th. Now here's your TLC Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling real-time forecast.
Overnight, we'll have clear skies with lows at 35, and then for your Friday, sunny and warm, highs at 76. What a great way to start off the weekend. From Eyewitness News 4, I'm Chief Meteorologist Michael Kelting for 770 KKOB.
Sunny and 63 in Albuquerque, sunny and 59 in Santa Fe. We'll be back after the news with John Milholland. Stay tuned.
The world-renowned Santa Fe Chamber Music Festival begins July 18th. See superstars in Santa Fe and Albuquerque performing classics, rare gems, world music, and real jazz. Save up to $50 now at santafechambermusic.com.
With the major golf update, I'm Todd Ent with first-round coverage of the Masters. With the scandal that rocked his image and his marriage on the back burner for now, Tiger Woods is where he's most comfortable, at Augusta National. Tiger bogeyed 10, but picked up a stroke on 13 as he made his way through Amen Corner. He is now at 3 under through 13, just 2 shots back. Tom Watson and Phil Mickelson lit up the course. They shot 5 under 67. They share the lead with Lee Westwood and White Yang, also at 5 under. Freddie Couples, 5 under through 16. Todd Ent, ABC Sports.
Quit daydreaming about this and make your Paco Ridge tee time now. Put this number in your phone or your Outlook, 281-6000. That number gets you $59 green fees every day of the week from now until April 15th. Paco Ridge is rated 5 stars by Golf Digest magazine and voted the 3rd best public golf course in America by Golf World magazine. Get out of the office and enjoy spring at Paco Ridge. Just $59 only through tax day, April 15th. 281-6000.
It's Rich Ford's All-American Truck Sale, going on now at the corner of Lomas and Wyoming Northeast. Rich Ford's pricing strategy makes the difference, and you're going to save a lot of money on your F-150 at Rich Ford. Here's Dennis Snyder to tell you why.
It's the #1 selling vehicle in America for the last 33 years, and the 2010 regular cab on sale for only $18,599, a savings of $4,971. Now everybody wants a 2010 F-150 4-door Super Crew Cab on sale here at Rich Ford for $23,699, a savings of $6,331. That's after the factory rebate and an all-American truck sale discount. When you choose Ford Motor Credit, you can get 0% for 60 months here at Rich Ford on the F-150, and that is $1,667 for $1,000 borrowed with approved credit through Ford Motor Credit.
We have instant financing and instant delivery during the All-American Truck Sale at Rich Ford at the corner of Lomas and Wyoming Northeast, Rich Ford in Edgewood, rich-ford.com, and we're open Sunday.
Hey folks, Chef Jim White here. You know I love to cook, but when spring rolls around, I like to get outside and enjoy nature. Whether getting out in the garden or taking my dogs for a romp, the Village Mercantile in Corrales has what I need. Jericho Nursery inside Village Mercantile has 688 lawn fertilizer for just $18.99. Buy 5 2-cubic-foot bags of back-to-earth compost and get 1 free. Pet toys and treats are 10% off. Just ask the Village Mercantile to give you a free tennis ball for your frisky pup while they last. Village Mercantile in beautiful Corrales at 3675 Corrales Road, open 7 days a week.
News at the top, at the bottom, and when it breaks, don't miss a thing. KKOB First News begins now.
Good afternoon. I'm John Milholland at 431. It's 63 degrees in Albuquerque. This is KKOB First News. The Democratic leader says he's confident about Senate approval of the new treaty.
Prospects for Senate approval of the new treaty are uncertain. Senate Democratic leader Harry Reid says he's confident of strong bipartisan support, but key Republicans so far are holding their fire. The president will need Republican support to get the 67 votes for approval.
That's ABC's Vic Ratner, 770 KKOB News Radio Time, 432. This portion of the news is sponsored by the Mutual Fund Store. Increasing competition to find a home to rent is keeping prices at least the same, if not slightly higher, in the Albuquerque metro area. A couple of leasing companies we spoke with say that's the case.
I'm seeing is that there's less notices for people moving out, and there seems to be a little stronger demand for people looking for single-family homes, because maybe from an apartment where they might have bought a house, maybe they're just a little nervous, and also I know credit is really tight right now.
That's Blair Hart with Omri Leasing housing and real estate across the country, rents dropped 1.5 points from the year earlier, and the vacancy rate remained at a record. Overall, property managers say Albuquerque is staying pretty steady on prices. The closest area with a price spike in a national survey is Colorado Springs. Right now it's 63 degrees in Albuquerque. 770 KKOB is bringing ABC White House correspondent Ann Compton to town April 10th. Get your tickets now at 770KKOB.com. Our next news update is at 5 p.m. I'm John Milholland on your breaking news station, News Radio 770 KKOB.
If you got a question for Janice Arnold-Jones, candidate for governor, give us a call at 243-3333.
Although this is the biggest monthly...
As part of our speaker series, New Mexico's leader is bringing ABC White House reporter Ann Compton to town.
Ann Compton, ABC News, the White House.
Ann is covering her 7th president. Hear what it was like to cover President Bush on 9/11 and more. Tickets just $24 and include a sit-down lunch. It takes place Saturday at noon at the Sheraton Uptown. Tickets available at 770KKOB.com or call 767-9116. Brought to you by Loveless Health Plan, Jordan Enterprises, and 770 KKOB.
Hi, I'm Rick Hopson, the Garden Guy. I'm here to remind you that Jericho Nursery is the answer to all your gardening needs. This time of year, everybody seems to want to be in the gardening business, but Jericho is keeping it real, providing knowledgeable, unmatched service throughout the year so your garden is healthy in every season. Remember, it's time to fertilize, so come see what products are right for you. Jericho Nursery, all your yard and garden needs. 101 Alameda Northwest, 899-7555 at the Village Mercantile and Cross and Jackalope in Santa Fe.
Grandma's Music and Sound.
1, 2.
Grandma's Music and Sound. We beat online prices. Get your headphones at Grandma's. The legendary Shure Microphone Company now makes headphones starting at under $60. Shure mics have been the industry standard for decades. Whether you're a pro or amateur, Shure makes a mic and headphone for you, and Grandma's has the best price.
1, 2.
New Mexico's largest store for musicians. Grandma's Music and Sound. Coors at Paseo.
The weather's getting warmer, and that means it's time to start working in your yard. Right now at O'Reilly Checker Auto Parts, you can pick up a Superstart lawn and garden battery starting at $19.99. Superstart batteries are built extra tough with unbeatable vibration resistance, a 12-month limited warranty, and available only at O'Reilly Checker Auto Parts. You can count on Superstart batteries to start your riding lawnmower time and time again. Springtime means yard work and lots of it, so stop by your local O'Reilly Checker Auto Parts today for a Superstart lawn and garden battery starting at $19.99. That's a Superstart lawn and garden battery for $19.99, available exclusively at O'Reilly Checker Auto Parts, the official auto parts store of NASCAR. Better parts, better prices every day.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. This endless winter, when will it end? Now. Spring's here, and it's time to ride. Team R&S accelerates the fun. We've got the cure for spring fever with exciting clearance center savings during our spring open house. Throttle down on Suzuki's GSX-R 600 and feel the rush of spring fever. With bigger power, better handling, and harder acceleration, GSX-R 600 owns the middleweight sport bike class, letting you own the curves. Step up to the Suzuki Boulevard M109, the coolest way to cruise into spring. Suzuki's M109 recreated the power cruiser market with its unique styling and exhilarating performance. It's the leader in its class, so you always lead the pack. Right now, save up to $1,000 on select Suzuki motorcycles. Ride today with Team Artis arranged low financing of 3.95 APR for up to 60 months. Our spring open house is going on now in the clearance center at Artis Suzuki on Lomas at the Artis West Supercenter on Coors. TeamRNS.com. Celebrate the fun. Bring your honors annual and please ride safe. Always wear a helmet to protect the riding curve. Restrictions apply. Credit approval required. Not all applicants receive the lowest APR. Suzuki engineered the GSX-Rs for experienced riders.
Phone store emergency? Please send someone. My mom's heart's beating really, really fast.
Okay, I'll call 911.
911.
Yes, this is OnStar Emergency. I have a child that's seeking who says her mother is not feeling well.
She just took some heart medicine, but it's not working.
Okay, I'm sending help to your mom.
Please hurry.
If something happens on the road, we can help.
We hear the siren.
We hope everything turns out okay.
Look for OnStar on 15 Chevy models. Visit OnStar.com for details and system limitations.
Jim Villanucci, Afternoons. A Houston man is found guilty of stealing $1 million from Medicare in an adult diaper scam. Now this case stinks. I know there's a Depends joke in there somewhere too, but I digress. 770 KKOB.
37 minutes past 4 p.m. Join Lobo basketball coaches Steve Alford and Don Flanagan as they work together to defeat cancer. It's the third annual basketball gala benefiting Coaches versus Cancer and the American Cancer Society. It's at the Hyatt Regency Tamaya Resort and Spa, Saturday, May 8th at 6 p.m. Call 262-6011 for information. Here's Gemma Knight.
We're still seeing a lot of smoke in the south area. You're going to see a controlled burn that's in Leto Pueblo, causing a lot of distraction for drivers on New Mexico 314 and Highway 47. The smoke is also visible the further south you get on I-25. We have construction delays on lead between Ash and Marble. You're going to see it completely closed throughout the evening, and then that will be lifted and out of your way finally tonight around 9 o'clock. If you have a traffic trouble spot, give me a call on the Traffic Tracker hotline, 767-9167. I'm Gemma Knight with traffic updates every 10 minutes on the 7th. Now here's your TLC Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling real-time forecast.
Tonight, clear skies, lows at 35, and then for tomorrow, sunny and warm, highs at 76 in Albuquerque. Beautiful day. From Eyewitness News 4, I'm Chief Meteorologist Michael Kelting for 770 KKOB.
63, sunny in Albuquerque, sunny 59 in the capital.
St. Pius X high school entrance exam for incoming freshmen is Saturday, April 17th. Tuition under $10,000. Money well spent to prepare your child for college and life. Call 831-8400 or go online to learn more. St. Pius X, Albuquerque's Catholic High School.
You're on the Jim Villanucci Show. Hannity tomorrow afternoon at 1 on The Talk Monster, 770 KKOB.
39 minutes after the hour, Janice Arnold-Jones is our guest. She's running for governor. Is anybody else bringing you food today? Have you had enough?
I haven't even eaten.
Oh, okay.
Well, I had Bombay Heights. I couldn't stop eating that.
Okay.
I haven't, Zio's is here as well. I haven't tried that yet.
All right.
I haven't had a chance. You want to bug me a little more?
No, I'm busy. Okay. Zio's on course.
Yeah, near Cottonwood Mall there.
Bob, you're on 770. Go ahead.
I'm getting so hungry listening to all of this commercials about food and you all talk. I had called in earlier about the film industry. I had some questions, but I would rather email Miss Jones about that. But I do have another question. I think she could maybe go into a little more detail. I don't think it's going to affect everyone. But Miss Jones, the question that I have is, I'm still very concerned with our relationship with Mexico and how close it is to the border. But we have so many Mexicans and African Americans, Latinos, Asians, and I'm very concerned of how they're going to be affected with crime, especially the citizens. And I would like for all of us to be protected by the Castle Doctrine. And I'm just curious, how would you promote that as an agenda on your
Castle Doctrine?
I am a supporter of the Castle Doctrine, but that really impacts your home. And the problems that we're facing on the border are derived in poverty, but the drug cartels are truly a threat. They're overwhelming the Mexican government. They're overwhelming our law enforcement agencies, and we have to stand up and deal with it.
RW, you're on 770. Go ahead.
Hi. Rick Perry recently refused money from the federal government. I want to know if you will join in the lawsuit against Obama health care.
A good question.
Is that a stunt? I mean, is that something that is ever going to happen?
Oh, no. This is very serious. The AGs have filed a case. I just saw a document from the House caucus asking if we wanted to help ask our AG to sign on. But here's the problem with the health care bill as it is coming down. The unfunded mandates, this is just kind of a cursory guess, is about $880 million a year for this state. Now, we're already...
here's my point. We got the labs, we got Air Force bases, federal highway money. Some of this talk about, not taking money from the government or not implementing health care, even though I don't like this bill at all. Is it really in the best interest of this state to pick a fight with the federal government with all the money we get?
I think it depends on which fight you're picking. Our government exists to kind of redistribute the tax base to make sure that our government is working. What I think people are upset about is when we have that carrot, that carrot, stick and carrot kind of deal. So in Medicare and Medicaid, we make very expensive decisions because we have a 3-to-1 match. Well, what would happen if we did away with that 3-to-1 match and provided for ourselves? Would we provide better services? Would the cost go up? Would the cost go down? You know, we don't know because we are terrified to look at some other way of doing it other than taking the federal match. There are federal matching dollars, and when you take, for example, the Title I dollars, you give away much of the control of your schools to the federal government.
Okay.
And I think that's what they're talking about.
All right, George, you're on 770. Go ahead.
Hey, Jim, how you doing?
All right, George.
Thanks for the forum. Ms. Arnold-Jones, I'll tell you what, I'm very impressed. This is the first time I really had a chance to listen to you today, and you know, looking good. My question for you, ma'am, is it just seems to me this last administration, the Richardson administration, was really boneheaded when they based the spending budget on $4 a gallon of gas and then got caught with their pants down. My question to you is, how serious are you about balancing the state budget, because it is mandated on the state constitution, and it just seems like the constitution isn't worth the paper it's written on if they're not going to honor it?
George, I'm glad you said that. You know, I happen to be a rules person. I believe in our Constitution. Our Constitution requires a balanced budget. That means you have to drill down and deal with the issues of revenue versus expenditure. When the Constitution says it will be a balanced budget, the governor is responsible for making sure that we are in balance. And any budget is a ceiling. Doesn't mean you have to spend that much, but that's all you get. And the governor is the chief executive, and you have an awful lot to say about that. And I agree. When you ignore decent, reasonable business practices, you know, I run a business too, and I have to project what our revenue is going to be. And I better be darn close, because otherwise people lose their jobs, and then the revenue is off, and then people get really mad at you. Well, that's what's happened here, and there's no excuse, because we knew. We knew.
What happens to your business if you get elected?
What happens to my business? You know what? I'm on a leave of absence right now, and I have constant communication. I said, you know, I'm going to go.
I mean, are you going to?
But at that point, then I would have to resign. Yeah. I would.
Chris, you're on 770. Go ahead.
Thank you for the opportunity. I understand from my studies that New Mexico is number one in one thing, and that is revenues from the federal government as a result of what we pay in and what we get back from taxes. So we're apportioned a large amount of that, and I know it can't last forever. So a few things that I would think that we could do to mandate a balanced budget in our state constitution would be you know, utilizing the powers that the governor could have in being able to declare a state of emergency before things get more worse in this state. And by doing that, by drilling and refining oil here, the other thing, I think natural gas being the second or third largest producer, we should take advantage of that. One thing you mentioned earlier about decriminalizing prisoners, non-injured party prisoners should be released, as well as marijuana-related crimes, so that we could save money in that particular area.
All right, you're all over the place. Back to energy, natural gas, something we should be doing more.
Well, of course, but again, I want to call attention to the fact that natural gas is going to be severely challenged, because as we have squeezed them out of business, the rest of the country has started drilling, and it's easier to get to. It's going to be a challenge. So I would challenge that call and say, you know, we need to look at private industry. That's why we're out of whack. What he said was exactly right. We have too many federal dollars, and when you have too many government sector jobs, they don't contribute the same way a private sector job contributes to the revenue stream of the state. And I say we need to get out of the way, make sure that regulation is pulled back, that permits are easy, that it does not take a lot of time out of your business day to do business. And I'd like to go one step further on the state taxes. We should redesign our state tax policy so that at most, as a business, you shouldn't have to spend more than 8 hours doing your taxes. It should not take that much out of your income stream.
All right, we'll have a final segment with Janice Arnold-Jones in 90 seconds.
27 minutes past 4 p.m. Warmer weather's coming. Are you ready? Call TLC today for your appointment to get your cooling system up and running. Call 761-9696. You can even schedule online at tlcplumbing.com. TLC Plumbing, heating and cooling. Here's Jim on night and more on the traffic.
We're starting to see some pretty busy traffic northbound course from I-40 all the way through to Montano. You're going to run into stop-and-go traffic in certain areas. Also seeing slowdowns on Paseo del Norte in both directions at I-25. We're still seeing some smoke visibility from the controlled burn we have at Isleta Pueblo. Expect to see some distractions as you're driving in the south area. Try not to be distracted by it, of course. It is just a controlled burn. For traffic trouble spots, call the Traffic Tracker hotline, 767-9167. I'm Gemma Knight with traffic updates every 10 minutes on the 7th. Now here's your TLC Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling real-time forecast.
Tonight we'll go with clear skies, lows at 35, and then tomorrow sunny and warm, highs at 76. Nice day. From Eyewitness News 4, I'm Chief Meteorologist Michael Kelting for 770 KKOB.
63 sunny in Albuquerque, sunny 59 in Santa Fe.
April 7th, 8th, and 9th, world-renowned Russian pianist Olga Kern returns in concert with the New Mexico Symphony Orchestra at Popejoy Hall. Tickets are selling fast. Reserve your seats now at nmso.org. Don't miss Olga Kern with the NMSO.
49 minutes after the hour. Rick, you're on 770. Go ahead.
Yeah, thanks for taking my call. I don't know if you have talked about this because I just tuned in, but under the Richardson administration, a lot of the juvenile justice has become so treatment-oriented that it has really no teeth anymore. And, you know, under the system that it currently is, you know, gangs are flourishing, violent crimes are flourishing amongst juveniles with these home invasion robberies and these things. How do you plan to change the way that juvenile crime is dealt with in New Mexico?
Rick, you know, I believe that treatment is important, but I think consequences early are as important or more important. You know, if we teach our young people that they can get away with it, then they will get away with it. And how many times do you want that? And I think it's compounding the problem with regard to juvenile justice. That's not to say that there aren't some kids who truly need some help.
We've got about 2 minutes left. The last time we'll get to visit with you until the election. Any final thoughts?
Oh, absolutely. I want to be your governor. You know, I'm the only candidate out there that not only has broad business experience, but I have key legislative experience. We're going to go into a challenging period of not having enough money. In fact, we're broke. And that's probably the most exciting prospect for me as your governor. We are going to have to set some priorities. You know, the state of New Mexico for years has said we are going to be everything to everybody. Well, you know, and I know, we can't do that. So it's important to have the dialogue, the deliberation that helps us establish what are the most important things that we're going to do in this state and then do them. You know, and when we do that, our economy will become stronger. And I'm hoping in that deliberation that we will look at making sure we have a private sector economy that will help us flourish. That is how we are going to create jobs, and people will have an opportunity to stay in our state, or should they choose to leave, that they will be able to come back to something. That means that we have to get the regulation under control. Has to be easy. Can't do that until you get the ethics under control. And lying, cheating, pay to play, threatening people, it's got to go. It's time. As your governor, if that's the way you're going to behave, you're not going to work for me.
Thank you, and good luck.
Thank you.
When we come back, Virginia's governor thought it would be a good thing to celebrate Confederate History Month. We'll take up that issue.
Bowery got his bumps. 42nd Street got Big Jim Walker. He old shooting son of a gun. Yeah, he's big and dumb as a man can come, but he's stronger than a country horse. And when the bad folks all get together at night, you know they all call Big Jim Ball just because. And they say you don't tug on Superman's cape, you don't spit into the wind, you don't pull a mask off an old Lone Ranger, and you don't mess around with Jim. I don't do that.
Get Masters leaderboard up updates right to your phone. Text GOLF to 67664. Brought to you by Paco Ridge Golf Club. $59 green fees until April 15th. You're on The Jim Villanucci Show on The Talk Monster 770 KKOB.
With the major golf update, I'm Todd Ent with first-round coverage of the Masters. Tiger Woods playing his first round of competitive golf since November of last year, hearing only encouragement from the Augusta crowd. Tiger nailed eagles on 8 and 15, so he's 4 under on 16, just 2 back of the field. And how about Freddie Couples with birdies on 15 and 17? He's the leader at 6 under. Tom Watson and Phil Mickelson shot 5 under 67s. They're 1 back along with Lee Westwood and Y.E. Yang. Todd Ent, ABC Sports.
Quit daydreaming about this and make your Paco Ridge Tea Time now. Put this number in your phone or your Outlook, 281-6000. That number gets you $59 green fees every day of the week from now until April 15th. Paco Ridge is rated 5 stars by Golf Digest magazine and voted the 3rd best public golf course.